Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Digital Studio. I am your man in Japan, Jay Contra, and today we are going to be going to the Surugaya web store. Surugaya is one of the biggest sort of retro game retailers in Japan. They have an online web service. That's actually, I think, where they want people to be buying their games from, and we're going to be looking at the most expensive Game Boy games. Yeah, I think I've already, yeah. So we should be looking at the software now. We're actually going to be looking at both the games and the hardware, just because Game Boy Advance hardware in Japan is absolutely insane in how expensive it is. As you can see already, here is a Game Boy Advance SP. It's the Famicom 20th anniversary. Let's see, Famicom version plus Super Mario Brother. It's so this is there's a Famicom no, sorry, there's a Famicom Game Boy Advance SP that's like the Famicom red and white. This one has a special, like, looks like a little plate on the bottom that makes it different. This is going for, with, it doesn't have the AC adapter. It also doesn't even have, it's apparently there's some problems with the console itself, as well as it doesn't come with the software that it's supposed to, and it's retailing for about $420 including tax. All of the prices at Surugaya do in fact include tax. And then look at here. This one is really interesting to me because this is what is this? This is Super Robot Tyson number 2. And this is part of the Famicom mini series where a bunch of Famicom games were ported to the Game Boy Advance. This is when Famicom nostalgia, it had been, I think at this point, 22 years? And so you had all these old games being ported, like Castlevania, Super Mario Brothers, and a couple of others. And this is going for $600. I should note, at the time of recording, it's about 108 yen, 107 yen to the dollar. So, like, it's just mind blowing to me that this is a ROM port. I think I'm gonna have to look this up, but I'm pretty sure this is just a port, and it is, at least of what's in stock. I don't know if this is the most expensive Game Boy Advance SP or Game Boy Advance game out there, but it's definitely the most expensive one that they have. Next up, they've got Kiseko Gurumi. I don't even know. Let's see, MTO. Like 2003. I've never heard of this game, and it's going for $550 for a Game Boy Advance game. What even is that? Here we've got Gegege no Onitaro. This is going for in good condition. Here we go. We got a good example. We can talk about condition. And such wildly variant prices, because here we've got it on the marketplace. So the thing about Surugaya, that if you're new to the store, you got to realize, and I'm still kind of baffled by it. They've only put this in the last year, but there's the main web store that when you see a price here like this, that means that you're buying something from the web store, like, any other website. And then they have a thing called a marketplace. Now, their marketplace isn't third-party sellers. The marketplace is just the brick and mortar stores. The brick and mortar Surugaya stores selling their stock, their inventory on the web store. It's kind of baffling, and then so you get a huge variety in price, because here we've got Gegege no Onitaro. It's going for $400 in what's supposed to be like acceptable condition. And then you've got a copy here where it's just the packaging is damaged somehow, and that's being sold on the marketplace for $220. Then in between there, we've got what is it? Kiki Kai Kai, Pocky and Rocky Advance, going for $400, ladies and gentlemen. That's crazy to me. And then we've got another one here where, yeah, the box is damaged, and that's going for $270. Next, we've got Bubble Bobble Old and New. I didn't even know they had a Bubble Bobble game for the Game Boy Advance. It's going for $380. And the other thing is, I'll bring this up every video because especially if you're new to this, especially on the Surugaya web store, this is not I don't think this is true of other websites, but this is, I'm pretty sure, just a stock image that they're putting up here. And so it's like they want you to spend, because look at this. They've got this one listing for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different stores that have it in stock, but they've got the same stock image. So when you're paying the $380 for this game, it's like you don't know what this is going to look like. You don't know if it's going to. And the thing about Surugaya is that their range of acceptable condition is very wide. Like I remember I bought a copy of Thrakia 776 for the Super Famicom, which is it's one of the more expensive games for the console, and it was sold to me as acceptable. I bought it in person, and I was okay with the damage that it had, but it had worn sides. It was nothing was inherently wrong with this. This will be tested, it'll work fine. But the box, it might have some wrinkles, some edge wear, some what I would not care about, because this is probably going to be cheaper than elsewhere. Surugaya tends to have some of the cheapest prices of Japanese stores. But it's just, I mean, if you want a mint condition game, I would hesitate buying from the Surugaya web store. Man, Double Dragon. I remember like 5 years ago when I was thinking about getting into the Game Boy Advance of buying this, and it was like $200, and I was like, no way, I can't. Like I love Double Dragon, but like this is now a $310 game. Yeah, they're about $320 game. It's like just the thing about this is like when you look at, is it just me because I'm like a console snob? But then when I see portable games going in like going for like $550, and actually I want to see what this is loose. We might not be able to see it. So we've got Kiseko Gurumi, excuse me. I want to see how much it's going for loose. So it's going for what, five? We'll just say 550 loose or 550 complete in box. And it doesn't even look like they have it loose. If we look at, let's look at Pocky and Rocky. How much is that going for? That's going for about $400. Let's just say $400 complete. Wow, and like $150. So if you want Pocky and Rocky, no box or manual, just the cartridge, it's going for $150 for a Game Boy Advance cart. Like that's, I think that's just my bias where I'm like, no, if the cartridge has to be bigger for it to be more expensive. That's why Neo Geo games are the most expensive, because the carts are the biggest. Oh, wow, they made Hot Scramble. So Hot Scramble, it's a Gundam game. It's got a thing where it's like there's the gold Hot Scramble for the Famicom that's worth a lot of money. Actually, probably about maybe more than this. But I can't believe they did a Game Boy Advance port of Hot Scramble, because this is like a $5 Famicom game if you're buying it loose. And seeing it here complete in box for the Game Boy Advance for like $270. It's crazy. And then Dancing Sword, like the thing with a lot of these games is that they look like they might be Japanese exclusive. Like Dancing Sword, I've never heard of this game, and it is going for, who even put this out? It's $250, and I can't even tell. Like, look at that. When this first came out, it was 5,000 yen. Here we are 17 years later, and it's now going for upwards of $300. Absolutely baffling. Now, this is interesting. What is this? So this is the second round of the Famicom Mini Collection Box. It looks like it's got all 10, I'm hoping. So that's, wow, I didn't even know this was a thing. So it's got 10 of the ports that of the Famicom games that came out. It's got this cool little gold thing down here. How much was this going for? $250? Yeah, it doesn't have any of the Gundam games. Looks like the Gundam games probably got printed in low quantity, excuse me. Let's pull out, bring it back to normal size. So what is it? It's got Mario Brothers, Kudu Kudu Land, or Clu Clu Land, excuse me, Balloon Fight, Wrecking Crew, Dr. Mario, Dig Dug, Takashi Meiji's Adventure Island, Ghosts and Goblins, Twin Bee, Gambare Goemon. That's all 10 there. And then there's the other one. That's going for 250. Actually, you know what? That's actually not a terrible price. Like when you think about it, you're getting all 10 games. They tend to go from anywhere from like 10 to $20. Like none of those are exceedingly rare and sought after. Because like let's look at even what this one is, because it seems, yeah, it comes with a box. It's for these 10 games. Like this one, this is an absolute steal. Like you're getting Castlevania, that's easily like a $30 game. Metroid is, 20 to 30. That's what Link, Adventure of Link. Yeah, like this one, you're actually probably saving money in a weird way by buying this cool collector's box. And like I've never seen this. I've never seen this in store. I might have seen it in Mandarake once, and like I didn't even recognize what it was. But this is actually really cool because, oh yeah, and it's got the disc. So I think all of these are originally Famicom disc games. And that's the thing is that a lot of these, like Metroid, never got a cartridge port in Japan. The cartridge only ever came out in America. The Castlevania cartridge is like $100 for the Famicom. Adventure of Link never got a cartridge release. And I wonder if that's Mario 2. Like, Mario 2 never got a cartridge release either in Japan. Mario USA did, but Mario 2 never did. And then here we go. So that's, yeah, so that's the Disk System collection of games. That's number 2. What is in number 1? Let's see. Super Mario Brothers, Donkey Kong, Ice Climbers, Excite Bike, Original Legend of Zelda, although that was originally a Disk System game. Pac-Man, Xevious, Mappy, Bomberman, and Star Soldier. A lot of cool games on there. Like Xevious is just like, I freaking love Xevious. It's definitely one of my favorite shooters and definitely one of the best for the Famicom. Although I haven't played the sequel yet. I really want to. That's going for $230, by the way. I'm surprised we haven't seen Metal Slug. Metal Slug, and maybe they just don't have it in stock, but Metal Slug is another game that's really high up on the Game Boy Advance games. What else have we got here? Dual Blade. No image. It's going for $220. Oh, here we go. So now that's fascinating to me. So here on the marketplace, it's being sold by one of their brick and mortars for $240. And then here it's 11 yen cheaper. It's basically $240 as well. Now, who put this out? Metro 3D Japan. I love this anime sort of art style on the Game Boy Advance games. That was really finally we could allow games to be fully anime. That's probably, I really got to look some of these up. I'm so fascinated by these and why. I'm just assuming it's low print run because, well, when did Mother 3 come out? Like even Mother 3 doesn't get this expensive. And then Phalanx, the shooter. Phalanx, I want to say, was that a Famicom game? Oh, see here, yeah, shooting game. At least they tell you what the genre is. By Kemco. Again, this is probably a stock image. What else have we got here? Tiny Toon Adventures, Scary Dreams, the American. Wow, it's actually pretty good. I like at least when they scan stuff, they actually do a pretty good job of it when they actually care. By Conspiracy Entertainment, Scary Dreams. If you want a complete in-box copy of Tiny Toons, be my guest. Here we go, Metal Slug. I thought Metal Slug Advance was more. I thought it was more expensive than this, but it's going for what, $210 now? It's crazy. Like Metal Slug just. Oh man, I've always wanted to get the Metal Slugs for the Neo Geo Pocket. I just never got around to it. What have we got here? Ooh, this is interesting. Oh, so okay, well, 01 SP, never heard of it, $190. This is really cool. I've never seen this before. So this is, oh, was this like the Binding Blade? I can't remember what the English title was of this, but it looked like you get a little carrier bag. That's cool. A little strategy guide. The game itself doesn't look like it's in great condition. Some clear A4 files. Those, man, that's really cool. I'm guessing that's a postcard. Buttons. Oh man, is that a bookmark? Oh, that's awesome. It's going for, yeah, so this was exclusive to Lawson. Oh, this is what the binding blade. I'm pretty sure that's what that means. This is going for, so originally it was sold for 8,000 yen, and oh, it's only 2,000. Or sorry, it's only $200. Like for as a Fire Emblem collectible, when you also compare that to like Thrakia 776, which has a collector's box, which is about this price. Like I wonder what you could get for this on eBay. That would be worth a look up. I bet you can make some money on this. All right, oh, that's the consoles. Well, yeah, we'll save the consoles for a little bit. I think we can still go through another page, just because I can sort of quickly run through these because I have no idea what half of these games are. Iridium 2, that's going for $180. F-Zero Climax. This for me, like the other ones, like it'd be nice if the Metal Slug was a bit cheaper. It'd be great if Pocky and Rocky was cheaper, but F-Zero is the one that really shocks me, as expensive as it is, because it's going for $170 for for a Nintendo published game. I mean, I'm guessing it's because it came out in 04. So it probably had a very limited print run. Was the DS out at this point? Maybe. And then like V-Rally 3, like that's the other one that's really shocking to me, just because it's like a racing game. I mean, it's by Konami, so I'm sure it's very competent. But going for $160 for a rally game for the Game Boy Advance, does anybody really want to play this, or is someone just buying it to complete a collection? And how do you even complete a Game Boy Advance collection? I don't know how you even do that. Anything else? Oh, Space Channel 5? Did that really come out for the Game Boy Advance? I wonder if this came out in America. Oh, and then this one. Oh, that's actually really cheap. $120 for Castlevania, what was this? Circle of the Moon? That's crazy. Like this is, again, it all comes down to the condition. If this is in fine condition, if this is all right, then this is beating like Trader and Mandarake. That would be very interesting. Oh, and see, yeah, all right. So I was looking for this. I don't know why this didn't show up when we were searching for it. So this is what was it, $600? Yeah, see, so here it's $600. Oh, because I think they gave a different title. So this is $550, and then if you want it loose, it's going for $120 for that. And then the Double Dragon cartridge is also going for $120. And just like I'm blown away by how expensive the Game Boy Advance is. And maybe maybe this is happening because when you think about like the N64, how there's no real super expensive game for it. But that's because in terms of consoles, there was the real split between the PlayStation and the N64, whereas the PlayStation was much more popular. When you look at portables, there was no other portable besides the Game Boy Advance. Other people tried, like the PSP tried. I think PSP was a little bit after the Game Boy Advance. But the Game Boy Advance was just so completely dominant that I guess I'm not surprised to see that it has much higher demand for the more expensive and rare games. And then when we get to the consoles, let's look at this. This is the Game Boy Micro. Game Boy Micros are already incredibly expensive. Is that a Pikachu? What is that? What even is this? So this is a red and black Game Boy Advance Micro. It is retailing at this store for $1,600, including tax. Yeah, so it's a Pokemon, but Pokemon, there's no red and black. Like, I don't understand. Like, is this a Team Rocket tie-in? 2005, so that makes sense. That would have been pretty late, probably very limited. Like even the Game Boy Micros are already limited because they were like the last Game Boy Advance to come out. But then to have this one that you probably only buy at a Pokemon Center, if I had to guess, how you got this. I guess it's like, is it to tie in with the Gradon version? Because like here's the Gradon version of the SP that's going for, what is that, $1,100, $1,100. My God. And then what is this? Oh yeah, this is the Kyogre version, the blue one, to tie in with Ruby and Sapphire. That's going for $1,500. We have, here's one. Here's the red and blue one. Now this one is unique because this listing, I'm guessing this is a web store. Yeah, it's not being sold from one of the shops. I'm guessing this is actually the product you're going to be purchasing. So let's take a look. They've done, I cannot believe they don't do this for everything. I know it's labor intensive because you've got to assign someone to take all these pictures, upload it, make sure it's all put into the content management system properly. But for expensive shit like this, for anything honestly over $100, yeah, you should be doing this. This is what should be happening. Like, look at this noise. Or no, I mean, yeah, it's really beat up, like a lot of scratches, but this is what they should be doing. Because I'm sure there's someone out there who will buy this. But I feel like if you're going to be buying something that is marked as having a problem, especially for Surugaya, when it's marked as a problem, it's got a problem. Whereas like Mandarake, it's like, oh, there's great damage to the manual, and that's because there's like a small little crease. So someone decided to dog ear a single page. That's huge damage, according to Mandarake. Whereas for Surugaya, this is what is huge damage. But like overall, it doesn't look like it's in terrible condition. I mean, if you're spending the chunk of change on something like this, you probably are someone who's going to want this in mint condition. But if I really wanted this, I would probably end up buying this one just so I could save $500. I always thought the most expensive one was the Mother 3 Deluxe case. I remember seeing this back in the day for like $200. It's now going for $600. So it's got the outer box, the console itself, the game. Looks like a badge, a pin, a little bag. Yeah, I loved how the I think all of the Game Boy Advance Micros came with a little bag. And then what is even that? I don't know what that's supposed to be. Yeah, and it doesn't list everything that's supposed to be included, but that's, yeah, it can be yours for $600. I mean, the game itself is like $50, so keep that in mind as well. Here's the Pikachu version going for $440 thereabouts. We've got the orange one. What was that, Chimchar? I forgot what the names of like half the Pokemon. Anything beyond, even like up to 250 is difficult enough for me. Anything beyond the original 250, like I can hardly remember. And then Final Fantasy IV. I actually played Final Fantasy IV very recently. I freaking love Final Fantasy IV for the Game Boy Advance. It might actually be my favorite Final Fantasy at this point. I haven't played all of them, but it's a beautiful micro for a beautiful game for the Game Boy Advance. And it's going for $270. I feel like I might have seen it slightly cheaper elsewhere, but that's not a terrible price. There's just so many, I think of all of the Game Boys, I think probably the Game Boy Advance has just the widest breadth and the craziest prices and special editions. Like I know the DS got a lot of special editions. But when you think about the Game Boy Advance, you have the Game Boy Advance, the one that's not backlit. Then you've got the Game Boy Advance SP. You've got the North American exclusive SP 101. All of the variants of that, all the variants of the micro itself, all of the special variants, game-specific variants, as well as all of the colors, like completing a console collection. Like this might be the most expensive console to collect for, I wonder. Because like Neo Geo, all you're doing is buying a Neo Geo. They don't have any special edition Neo Geos, as far as I'm aware. But for the Game Boy Advance, like in like the Char one, oh, that's beautiful. That's a beautiful Game Boy. Like look at the like Chain of Memories. The blue, green, a Celebi Game Boy Advance. I've never seen a Celebi Game Boy Advance. Wow. Oh my God. That's going for $150. How much did this retail How much was the Game Boy Advance originally? It was like $100, probably. Like the Micro. Let's see, how much is the purple one? The original Micro was $100? I thought it would have been cheaper. Maybe it's because of the backlighting. I mean, it is small, it's heavily miniaturized, but it's coming out in '05. You see, okay, here's a silver Game Boy. So the original Game Boy Advance, when it came out in '02, was it '02? I feel like the Game Boy Advance came out before then. So no, Game Boy Advance SP was '03. Yeah, I can't find any other Game Boy Advances. Not on this section anyways. So just, I mean, okay, yeah, here's the orange one. Let's double check this. '01. Okay, so I guess, so this says December 14th, '01. It came out for $90. And oh God, look at that. Look at that screen. That's the other thing, is that I honestly, I would not buy a portable console unless I could inspect it in person, because your portable consoles are just the most likely to be trashed. And not to say that this is, has been trashed, but I'm really weird about having stuff on the screen where anything above a scratch, like I can ignore scratches. I trained myself to ignore the scratches that I gave my consoles back in the day. But something like this is I don't think I could look at the screen without fixating on that. Although the orange Game Boy Advance is really beautiful. So there's just so many different Game Boy Advance SPs out there, like SPs, micros. God, I remember when I saw this for like $50 one day back in Ageo. One of the biggest mistakes, not buying it when I could have. But just look at how expensive all this stuff is. Really, really surprising, and I think it's only going to get worse as time goes on. I think a lot of the money is starting to move towards the DS, but still, you're seeing huge. I don't want to say price increases. I think the price increases in the Game Boy Advance are pretty much done because the nostalgia is moving forward. But just to see some of the prices on these consoles and games, it's mind-boggling, and it's like, all right, I guess I'm gonna have to put my money elsewhere when I want to collect some stuff for the Game Boy. That's been the Game Boy Advance. I've been your man out of Japan, Jay Contra. If you liked this video, please tell me what other consoles you'd like me to look at, and please consider subscribing to the channel, as well as leaving any comments about how you felt about the video or anything else you want me to cover. I already said All right, I'm just going to leave it here. Thanks for watching, and see you next time, and mahalo.